But Enzo Maresca is cooking as Chelsea put 6 past Wolves. Arsenal too good for Aston Villa. And Manchester City just continue where they left off. And again, Liverpool continue their good run under slot. And is Erik Ten Hag over his head? Welcome to the Soccer Huddle. This is your boy Mujer. And yeah, second week of the EPL has played, and already we can see who are the title contenders. Already we can see that that's just for me. Already we can see who the title contenders are, who the top 8 contenders are, and I might be proven wrong in the long run. But you've seen like there's a number of teams that have already raised their hands and say, "Hey, come me in, come me in." So basically, Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, I think for me are the three that have shown the potential of being a title contender. Have shown the potential of securing those 3 Champions League places. But on the other side of Manchester, you've got Erik Ten Hag, who I don't know, is he over his head? Like I don't understand what he was trying to do against Brighton. Unacceptable lineups for both first game. First game we forgive him. We're like, okay, maybe but delete, they're not yet match fit, they're not yet ready. Uzeski, we don't know what he's doing. But in the second game, you do the same mistake, same lineup. Well, no, that's unacceptable. Look, I'm a huge fan of Erik Ten Hag, and I think if you've been following me, you know that I'm a huge fan of him. But that does not mean that he's not immune to criticism. If he does wrong, we need to criticize him. Otherwise, we just followers of him. We're just a cult, and then we don't see anything wrong that he does. And for me, those 2 lineups were an embarrassment. The substitutions as well. Imagine you starting a game on only 2 number 10s, and you finish the game without any number 10, and you're looking for a goal. What is that? And I heard people were trying like to stand up for him and say maybe lack of concentration lost Man United the game, because if you look at the last goal at Joe Petro, like there were 3 of them waiting for the ball. They were lined up for the ball, and where were our defenders? You ask yourself. Yes, somehow they're correct. Lack of concentration, and I think the mentality of that Man United team is still for me a bit low. But we're trying Ineos and Abu Ten Hag are trying to get that moral up, but and obviously we just bought Ogate, but the blame has to go to the manager, guys. Like, say what you say, he has to take accountability, and if he doesn't see those mistakes, I am sorry. This is his last season. I've always said this. You need 3 seasons as a manager. The first one, you come in, you assess the players. The second one, you sell all the dead wood and bring in the players that will help you to play. The third season is where we want to see improvement, is where we want to see what is it that you want to do with the team. But if we don't see that in the third season, if you're still playing shit football, if you're still doing what you did on the first and second game, I'm sorry. He has to go. I'm sorry. He has to go. Because how would you explain that? And again, Bafutu, I think this rules of football, like they're just weird, man. Like the goal Ganache, if it was way back, that was a goal. And I'm not saying way back was better than now, but that was a goal. Like, what is Zexi supposed to do? Because he slid in because he wanted to get at the end of the chorus. Maria fit, and then Ganacho just, and then he's in. Like, he can't do anything. He can't move out of the way. He cannot do anything. He cannot do anything. But yeah, Man United lost 2-1 to Brighton. So yeah, but Erik Ten Hag, you need to get your act. You need to get your act. You need to sort out your act, man, because you cannot do this. It's unacceptable. Let's see. We're playing Liverpool on Sunday. I want to see your starting lineup. I want to see it. And obviously, Manchester City. Manchester City are just Manchester City. They're in the lane of their own, man. I was really impressed with Savinho. I think it was his first home debut of the Premier League, and he kind of reminded me of Mahrez. And I remember seeing something on X that Manchester City did like our number 6 or something, and Mahrez quoted it with like eyes or a smiley face, and that was actually nice to see that at least the number 26 legacy is being continued by someone who's good enough, but not yet maybe on the level of Mahrez, but is maybe might get there someday. But I was really impressed. I think this thing, and I've said this before. The reason why they got rid of the G's was they needed a play from the back goalkeeper. But if you look at all the mistakes that this play from the back keepers are making, look at what happened to Ipswich. I don't know what the keeper is trying to do, man. You're playing one of the best teams in Europe. You're trying to be smart. You're trying to look at Ellen's 2 goals. The first one was a mistake from the De Bruyne one. The first one was a mistake from the keeper trying to play from the back, and he misjudged his touch, and then he lost it. And the second one, like, you up against Haaland. Like, you hesitate. The minute you hesitate against a big striker like Erik Haaland, he's gonna pounce on you. And he did that. And there were hope for the newly promoted team as they got onto the score sheet first. But Manchester City was like, okay, get a 6, Neutros in. And from that on, they showed them flames. So yeah, Manchester City winning 4-1 at home against the newly promoted Ipswich. Against the other match of the match of the weekend was like obviously Aston Villa versus Arsenal. And from last season, Aston Villa went 2 games unbeaten. They got 6 points out of Arsenal. And some may say those 3 points at the Emirates are actually the ones that lost the grip on the title for Arsenal. And this time around, Mikel Arteta's boys came into the party. But there's 2 people that I want to shout out. There's 2 people that I might be in the minority, but there's 2 people that for me stood out from that game. There's 2. Can you guess who the 2 are? I'm gonna give you like 2 seconds. And from opposite teams. The first one for me, obviously, is the Arsenal shop stopper, David Raya. I remember, I think it was Pep or Sir Alex Ferguson or Wenger. I can't remember clearly who was it. And he said, the difference to you winning the league and the difference between you coming second is your defense. And part of your defense is the keeper. The saves that Raya made on that day might actually make Arsenal a title contenders, or actually make them to win the league. Because if you look at that save, Watkins. One of the best saves of the league so far. I don't think, guys, that man, he fell. Like, there was a deflection and it went and it hit the post and he was down. And he managed to get up and save that goal. Guys, you know what? I don't know if it's jealous. I cannot jealous with anyone. But if you want to hear the explanation of the masterclass of that save, David Raya, go listen to the football feeling with Ben Foster and Otto. Otto is a former goalkeeper coach, former tactical coach, former Southampton, one of the coaches for Southampton. Go listen to those guys analyzing that save. Guys, you would get goosebumps explaining how good of a save that is. Like, that guy had to bounce. Hey, let me not take it away. Go listen to them. Go listen to the football feeling. And you'll hear how good that save was. Because that save was good as a keeper, but it was good for the match and for Arsenal. Because what if Watkins had scored, which means Villa had scored first, then it means Arsenal will need to go into panic mode, or will need to attack, and might leave cracks at the back to, obviously, for Aston Villa to score the second, because Aston Villa are also dangerous. We know them, they know them as well, Arsenal. That's what happened with the Emirates. Arsenal wanted to go get the winner, and then Aston Villa punched and they scored the second goal. And the other player that I wanted to give a shout out, Morgan Rogers. What a baller. And that boy, remember, he was born in the January transfer window by Unai, and he said to I think I read somewhere, he said to his technical team, like, this boy is something else. That boy, he bossed the midfield, man. He had Rice, he had Patika Rice, so that boy was just he had the strength, he had the speed, he had that guys, I think maybe there's a star born there, but it's too early to say. But in that game, I think for me, he had a good goal. He had a good game for me, and it's one to look for in the future. As well, what's happening with Trossard? What was that? Did you see what happened to Trossard? Arsenal fans, I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I don't follow these things. So I actually do follow them, but I don't know what's happening at the moment. Arsenal fans, what's happening to Trossard? Is he trying to send the manager a message or something? Is he trying to be a starter now for your team? Because if you look at it in the 2 seasons that he's been, I think he's proven himself to be a starter. He's been scoring goals, crucial goals for you from the bench. Doesn't he deserve to be a starter? I think that's the message to him. for to Ateta. Just me thinking about it. But if you're an Arsenal fan in the comment section and you know what's happening between Trossard and Arsenal, or maybe we maybe overthinking it, maybe as well, you can just tell us, no, guys, there's nothing actually happening. It's just that he didn't like to celebrate. So we move over to Liverpool against Brentford. Hey, guys, there's too many things that we can discuss over the week on the EPL. Did you see how Brentford set up for their corner kicks? And I think from one of those corner kicks, Liverpool actually broke and scored. Like everyone is behind the ball. Everyone is in the box. And the only person that they leave is the guy who takes the corner, which is Mbemo. Like I found it so weird. Like, what? What is it's like us leaving Marcus Rashford? Yeah, Bazoro said something yesterday. Like it's like you guys leaving Rashford to go last man on the last man defense a corner. But go look at it, guys. If you haven't seen it, go look at the way they set up their corners. I think yeah, it was just. But yeah, Liverpool just they still on good form under Sloot. Yeah, as I said, they're looking like a title a contender in the top four contender as well. I think if you look at the way Liverpool played against Brentford at home as well, and it was just weird that Brentford set up that way at home, not at home, away to Liverpool. That set up when they are tactics. I don't know what's happening there, but yeah, Trent as well. What's wrong? He doesn't want to get subbed. You know, hey. Did you see him after the game? He looked very angry and he looked very. Is this a sign of him maybe going to Madrid? Because there were rumors that Madrid were coming for him. Maybe Omonakare Conor Bradley is taking his place, and we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, Chelsea. But Enzo Maresca is cooking. They beat 6 against Wolves. But you go with the brace. Cole Palmer with the brace of assist. And already Chelsea fans are basically jokingly vest about they think they're title contenders. Yeah. It's a bit 50-50, man, guys. There's a thing in football called new manager pounds, and that's when players trying to play for the manager. But in Chelsea's terms, it's new players, so it's not it's there, but it's not. But we cannot just say after 2 games already we want to say already Chelsea are title contenders. And we saw them last weekend against Manchester City. They played well, but Manchester City got the better of them because Manchester City are the superior team, are the better team. So Wolves team Ella, like if you look at that game was so open. That game was so open. It was like a table tennis match. It was like a tennis match going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I think Chelsea's front four, front five, they were good. For me, they were good. And Cole Palmer is Cole Palmer. Just continue his form from where he left off. And I just want to pick up someone here. I wrote him somewhere. Neto, when he came on, the work rate on Fano isn't acceptable. Is I don't know if he was motivated because he was playing against his former team, but you look at the goal, yeah, Joe Felix. You look at the run that he made from the back. He never stopped running. He ran, and after the guy who had the ball, and he ran into space until he received the ball, and he ran and created an assist for Joe Felix. And I think they look dangerous for me. If as I said, if they can be this consistent Chelsea team, we might consider them as title contenders, or even in the top four, we might consider them. But having said that, having looked at all the attacking players, Abumadueke, Joe Felix, Jackson getting his goal, but Enzo Fernandez. If you look at Enzo Fernandez's game, guys, you. It's just a pity that these days we look at the goal scorers, we look at the assisters, but then talking about pre-assist, like before the assist, and you look at the performance here, Enzo in the middle of the park, the duels that he won, the passes that he made. Guys, Enzo Fernandez is a dream midfielder for any team. That guy was bossing that midfield. And he had that thing, racist thing that he did when he was back home, and which I do not condemn into this day. But if you look at his performances on that day against Wolves, it was exceptional. I might be in the minority that was looking at him or did see him, but he didn't like if you saw the performance of Enzo Fernandez. And I think a lot of Chelsea fans have already Salabantima praised his performance, but the one that he did against Wolves for me was top notch. Was top notch. Yeah, and so and the rest of the EPL games, Fulham won 2-1 to Leicester. Smith Rowan getting his first goal for the club after being transferred from Arsenal. Bournemouth, let me leave this one for the last one. Spurs with the song Brace beating 4-0 against John Dykes' Everton. What's happening with Everton, guys? So, is Everton going to fight for relegation every season? Season in, season out? Man United, Brent White, 60, 100 and something. Look at it. If they could have sold him to Man United, they could have taken that money and invested in players that would help them not to do that. But as it stands now, it looks like Everton are going down and are going to be doing cats and dogs in the relegation battle there. So I hope Everton is a big team. Next year they're moving into a new stadium. It will be weird for them to move into a new stadium while they're in the championship. So I hope they can get that act together. Sean Dykes and his people there. Palace lost 2-0 to West Ham. My favorite guy, Spider-Man Wan-Bissaka, who made his debut and made a brilliant run to set up the goal. Yeah, is it their Bowen or your social? I think they're social. So yeah, and I saw a video of Mohamed Kudus dribbling past defenders. Kudus is a good player, guys. Yeah. A newly promoted team, Southampton going down to a Morgan Gibbs White. Is it a header or is it tap in? Like it was just a mess there in the box there. So the newly promoted teams seeing Flames at the moment. They haven't won any games. Where's Leicester? Oh yeah, Leicester got beaten. So they haven't won any games. Leicester have drawn one. They've lost one. Southampton have lost both their games, and as well as Ipswich, they lost to Liverpool. And but imagine as Ipswich, they give you the first game of the season is Liverpool. The second game of the season is City. But some might say we want to get those games out of the way as soon as possible so that we can get potential points on. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah, Bournemouth and Newcastle. The reason why I wanted to put it at the end is that what did you guys make of Joelinton's holding of the neck, or is it the tackle, a rugby tackle, or WWE suplex by Joelinton on the keeper? Look, 90 plus minutes, last minute, the keeper gets a ball. He wants to make a quick pass for a quick counter, and Joelinton and he gets a yellow card. What do you guys make of it? You got a yellow card. Was it a red card incident? Because that is intentional. He's trying to keep. It's like, for me, it's a red card. It's a straight red card. It's the same as last man. You are a last man, you take someone down. That's a red card. That for me is the same, because he knew once that ball left the keeper, there was a counter attack and Bournemouth could have scored. But what he did, keeper got chokeslam, keeper got suplex City, Metaka rugby tackle, and he got a yellow card. If it was the other side of red, again go black card. If it was Casemiro, it was gonna get a straight red card. But anyways, this is the final week of the transfer market, the transfer season or transfer market, whatever you want to call it. I might be back. I had my team wants to make a swap deal for Sancho and Sterling. No. And obviously, Manuel Agate has signed, is in Manchester doing his medicals. And Liverpool in for Tony. Not Liverpool. Arsenal reveal Moreno, and also there's rumors that they're going in for Tony. Or is it Chelsea? Yeah, even Arsenal for Osimhen, and Chelsea as well. They're in the market, and they might make a shock move for Ivan Toney, who has set his mind on the Saudis. Yanale Osimhen, but Osimhen ahead. His camp said no, we're not going there. We're coming there. So yeah, and Liverpool, Keiza on his way to Merseyside. We'll see that at the end of the season. And until we meet again, remember, prevention is better than cure. Don't risk it unless it's worth it. I'm out.